Hold on, had to get me another cigarette. So, yeah, like this one atheist guy, that the Jehovah's Witness guy, I don't know, he's out there banging out all these prophets that their prophecies don't come true, or neither does any of these tarot prophets or anything like that, right? But that's why Reb is wound up on this old dude, man, because like when I showed up, remember, back in the day, that's how it worked out. The BP oil spill was going, remember that, for all y'all? And I came out here and I put this thing on YouTube on another guy's channel to stop this leak. You know? Because they said they couldn't put something on top of this thing because all the bolts was there and they just couldn't get nothing on there. So I made this thing that one submarine, not a bunch of submarines, because it was that dude that, the Avatar dude, who has one submersible. He got one submarine, you know. So I built this thing that would go together with one submarine, because that's what he said. He said, give $1 million if you can help me do this, dude. Boom. This thing was awesome. Right? You just put it together with one submarine and take the oil. It wasn't the valve, it was something to put, you can put any valve on the top of it you wanted to. Right? But this other thing. But it wasn't a valve, so they weren't paying for it. But they did damn sure shut that fucker off. In the very same 3 days. It only took them 3 days after that thing hit the webs, man. Right? This old dude, it was Andy Gump's oil spill fix, man. Because that's my name, Andy Gump. What? Get the fuck out of here, right? Yeah. The Simpleton. It's not my real name, so people call me Simpleton. Come in here and stop the oil spill. I don't know what you atheists was doing, or all these hotshot smarties. Right? That's cool. But that was where I started. Right? And then I hooked up with these other guys, the Project Thunderbolts guys, started talking about Sumer and Venus and all this other planetary, Nibiru, Jupiter stuff. Got people all pissed off. Getting into their thing. I didn't mean to, but I don't like people using other cultures and treating them like there's something stupid about them when they were brilliant, like Sumer, right? And doing astronomy, which is what you guys got today. Your very cosmological thing. Babylon. Babylon has fallen. That's funny. We're using a very cosmological thing that they gave us. That's Greek. No, it's not. That's cool. Right? But then we hooked up and I just had a National Geographic paper because I didn't have the webs. Right? I didn't have it. So I made this National Geographic poster for these guys, and that love bug guy is all about, oh, stand in the gap. He didn't stand in the gap very long. He perished like quick. Standing in the gap's a heavy place to be. That name. Right? Go ahead. See, you got the shit. Right? But he talked about how the Pacific plate goes up there like that, and then it snow cones like over the top and over the top, and then down through the valley like that. This is fucking, and old Dutchy, he hooked right up. Took a whole new directions, man. Because I just knew that part, the Pacific plate and the West Coast and Creighton is what I could explain. And he run with it, man. If it was me, I'd be dead already. He had a thing. They couldn't take him out without me. Yeah, gone. Right, but not him. Right, so I pissed people off a lot. A lot of people I pissed off on the webs. Some of them intentionally and some of them not. Right? But that's why people get crazy. But because of that, because of some other stuff, people start getting in your business for pissing in their Kool-Aid or whatever. the whole Nibiru crowd and some other crowds. So then you say, you know, like there was this comet coming in. I told him, Comet Elenin or whatever it was, and they said, it's going to destroy the earth. You know how these fear fuckers are. So I just typed up in a comment for one of these guys that, yeah, that thing's fucking history, man. They were all making jokes at me at the time. This stupid old fucker. You know how you are. And then this thing comes out of Jupiter and just explodes at the smithereens, man. Shut these motherfuckers up right now. Which then all of a sudden people say, wow, you know what? The human mind is potential. I don't know about yours, but I've done a few other things like that myself. Also, which all these gurus, you know, because then we start talking about this cycle I have, you know, you eat 21 days, whatever you want, right? And then the last 7 days of the 28-day cycle, lunar cycle, because it goes from new moon to new moon, see? So new moon for 21 days, then on the 21 days, then you eat no meat whatsoever, you just eat like fruit, because I do eat fruit, no green stuff, I don't eat that shit. And then for the last 3 days of the moon, you don't eat anything at all. And that's what I did all the time. I did it since the 70s, right? Nobody knows, but they start paying attention. How come you're not eating nothing? Don't you have any money? I said, I got money. Well, why don't you eat something? I said, it's a thing. You know, it got to be a joke. It's my no meat week. Is it the no meat week? 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 And everywhere you go, is it the no meat week? It's just a thing, you know. I don't know. Give a fuck, man. It's just a thing with that name, that S name that's up here on my page in the about section. That name has to do with that. You know, I'm not a dog. I'm not going to just jump through tricks and do tricks. I did a bunch of tricks for a lot of people. As far as prophecy, it's not prophecy. I just say it and bam, happens. Like Dabu 7. Before a little incident, unforgivable incident for some people. For everything else, I'll just forgive you, just ask, but some things, no. But the Ison comet, right? The Ison comet, it was supposed to pass by Mars or whatever and cause all kinds of trouble, and it did. But I told Dabu 7, I said, you just watch behind you, because something's coming from behind. It's going to be, you guys will be all stuck watching this Mars thing. Something's going to happen behind you. That damn sure did. I mean, this Dabu 7 could have had just another camera pointed back, and he'd have caught the whole thing, been all kind of, he'd have been the only, I think there was just one guy had it, and he'd have been the second, but he didn't believe it, so fuck him. You know, not my problem, man. Which is why everybody, these gurus and shits got all these new crazy things, because they want to be able to do what this old dude's doing. Right? Like that hurricane down there, and I told my certain people, I said, well, I don't have the juice to shut that down, but we're going to hook it to a different hurricane and do something different. And goddamn right. Pisses people off all over the place. Because you know how you are. You can get in and listen, but I don't care. Right? Which is the other funny part of this conversation. If you want to dig into my business, I can't stop you. Can't stop anybody from doing anything. However, because of these back in the days, you know, incidents, my business is pretty well 24/7 watch, bub. Because if I say something, I don't have to put it on the tubes. I don't have to come out and say, okay, this is what I'm going to do now. I don't have to. They have to speak the words out, you know. I have to go out publicly and blast it out like I'm public. Do I? I don't. I would never curse a person, but I wouldn't say the same with the ground you're walking on. That's what I tell people. I would never speak ill against another human like y'all do. But the ground you're walking on, oh yes. Open up a sinkhole and swallow you like nothing. What? Huh. But for people, I have no ill will about people. The ground you're walking on, it's a different story. I wouldn't have. People say, we got all this magic power and people, you get fortune and fortune. I don't care about fortune. It's all about, if you got to show me you can do something with an inanimate object, like earth, and a wind, and water. Right? But I'm not out here doing tricks anymore. I told you, no more tricks. I showed enough tricks. And they know. But like I said, they're in my business too. So I can't stop anybody from getting into my business. Who cares? I just tell you and warn you that if you get in there and click links and do all that, whatever happens to your computer, I'm not responsible. What happens to any of your equipment? What happens to any of your SD cards, any of your past records, anything? I will not be held responsible because I don't do it.